Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Sharing is Caring, where we dive deep into the stories and insights that shape our world today. I'm Blue, your AI host. In today's episode, we have the pleasure of speaking with Paul Obota, who has seamlessly integrated his expertise in agricultural economics and finance into the tech world. Paul will share his journey from finance to agriculture AI, the challenges he's faced, and the innovative solutions he's bringing to the agricultural sector through technology. So whether you're a tech enthusiast, an agricultural professional, or just curious about the future of these industries, this episode is for you. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe and like our podcast. Your support really helps us keep bringing these insightful conversations to you. Let's get into our conversation with Paul Obota. Stay tuned, as this episode promises to be not just informative, but also inspiring.
Ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Hi, Paul. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Hi, how are you?
I'm very good. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining the show.
And thank you so much for allowing me to attend to this show. It is a pleasure. And I'm really hopeful that it will be a great one and a very informative one.
Yeah, we hope so too. Thank you so much. Pleasure is really shared. So, how about you introduce yourself?
All right. First of all, I'll again repeat that I'm really appreciative for being given this chance. And I'll say that this is my first podcast during this year since I shifted to agriculture AI. And just to go straight to my name is Paul Obota. I'm a finance and planning officer at Obla Technologies. And I have a background in both agricultural economics and finance. And basically what I did is I have a degree in agricultural economics and also another one in finance, which I just am finishing right now. So far, I believe that's all about my background in terms of what I've studied and what I'm doing as of now. And I believe, that's all about my name. I don't have so much towards my title, but I'm going there to build it more and more. Yeah.
Okay. So what made you shift from finance to agriculture?
Actually, it wasn't a shift. I wouldn't say so much that it was a shift, but I'll say it's more of the two fields working in congruence. In that, I did first my agricultural economics after my high school. And when doing agricultural economics, I really loved the finance side of it, the economic side of it. Actually, my course was called Agricultural Economics and Rural Development. And initially, I had a vision of doing medicine, but I never attained those grades. So I ended up being placed into agricultural economics and rural development. And when doing that course, I fell in love with the economics part and not the agricultural part. So after doing that degree, I just enrolled into a finance degree again, so that I can be able to satisfy my desire of the economics part of the course that I did initially. But in my professional life now, when I began again doing my finance degree and now being into the finance profession, I ended up meeting a lot of, because I again started a company that is called FarmCheck Limited. And whatever we are doing there is we were a consultancy, an IT solutions and software development consultancy company. And that's how I went into technology part of my career. And after doing some work with the company, I started gaining interest into the agricultural bit. And that's how I ended up again going back into agriculture.
Okay, I understand. So your degree was related to agriculture, And
Yes,
so
yes.
you were never far from agriculture anyway.
Yes, true, true, true.
Maybe you could elaborate. You said some technical parts made you interested in agriculture, or did I get that wrong? What
Uh,
what was exactly that sparked your interest?
the economics bit of the course, the agricultural economics bit, because what agriculture economics basically entails is learning the farming bit, and now you have to understand the economics bit, the business part of the agriculture. So in that course, we had to learn macroeconomics and microeconomics, and those are what sparked my interest into finance now.
Okay. Um, okay. And you mentioned your company. What is your company doing at the moment?
The company that I mentioned, I've mentioned actually two, because I founded an IT solutions company. And if you go online, you'll find it. It's called FarmCheck Limited. And what FarmCheck Limited basically did was software development. And there we did also some IT consultancy. I had a staff of a few members. And we were developing MVPs for startups, basically based in Kenya. And we were trying to scale it up, but it never worked for us. And after having some hurdles and experiencing some issues with it, I decided now that this is not working for us as a company. And right now we are in the process of dissolving it. But then I got an opportunity to work with Obla Plus Technologies, the company that now I am based at. And what we do is we are working with SMEs, and it's also a consultancy company. But here I'm working with individuals that are really having experience in terms of research and in terms of business development and everything of the sort, just to ensure that the business plan is and the strategies are very clear, and the vision and the mission too. So here I came in as a finance, because also I have an experience. I have an expertise in finance bit, so I came in as a finance and a planning officer. So that's my role at Obla Plus Technology as we speak.
Okay, I see, I see. And the SMEs you work with are in agriculture?
Yes, 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 yes. So what we do for them is we're doing value addition and training for them. And that's the main vision of Obla Plus Technologies, because again, in Kenya, we have a lot of smallholder farmers, but most of them lack the experience of knowing how to do value additions, because the way of the state of agriculture in Kenya is still more tradition, as you had mentioned earlier. You are not wrong about that. So in most cases, we're trying to bring in value addition into the value chain, and we have a skill gap. And most of these SMEs want to be supported in terms of the training and be able to understand on how to add, to do value addition into various products, be it meat processing, be it dairy processing. Yes, all of that.
Okay, I see. Yeah, it's a huge mission, I guess. Not only in Kenya, or any country in the world. I think any country in the world has this issue that science move so fast, and science and technology move so fast, and often doesn't reach the rural side of the economy. What do you think about that? And by supporting SME in agricultural sector, in general, I think everywhere in the world, technology moves at a super fast pace, but often doesn't reach rural areas. What do you think about that? And how is your mission with your company supporting, teaching and technological diffusion, let's say?
Yes, 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 yes. I believe, yes, there are a lot of advancements actually in different fields. And you can see that the technology bit and innovation is really changing a lot of industries, be it the retail industry, be it the medicine industry, be it like whatever industry that is supporting the economy, they're being changed and being transitioned by technology. But again, you get the fact that in the rural areas, this technology, especially in farming and agriculture in general, the adoption of technology is quite slow, and it's quite lagging behind compared to the other sectors of the economy.
Yeah,
And
that's what I meant.
yes, and this has been a challenge. Actually, even if you come up with an innovation that will help the smallholder farmer, it has become a challenge on how they can be able to adapt to that specific technology. So for us, what we do mainly is we have to do a lot of sensitizations around this technology that we're developing, and especially in terms of doing a lot of trainings, because again, you can say in the adoption of technology, we are looking at things to do with the advancement of the technological infrastructures themselves. Look at the internet, is it accessible there? The phones there, if you're selling a technology through the smartphones, are they available there? Can that smallholder farmer in the rural areas of the in the deep inside the villages, can they be able to access that technology? So those are the main questions that you have to ask yourself before you can be able to deploy a particular technology to them. So the first thing is always to look into those obstacles, then see how best you can be able to maneuver around them. And the best way is always to train them and be able to get a feedback from them before you deploy any technology that could be adopted. So I'll say for them to for a company or an individual to deploy a technology that is solving a need within the farming. So I was saying that for an individual or a company that is planning to deploy any technology that is targeted toward the village or the rural areas, especially in the agricultural sector, then the first strategy is always to have a budget for education and training. Because after that is when the targeted customers or the targeted individuals can be able to understand whatever you are trying to bring to them, as a solution.
Okay, I see. Yeah, it seems like from what you say that training is a huge part from the value you bring to these people. So yeah, got it. So you cannot just drop a technology to farmers and hope that they would adapt it. So training is essential.
Very essential.
Okay. Good to hear, and yeah, kudos to you for spreading good practices. So we kind of connected because of AI. So how is AI playing out in the agriculture sector?
Okay. I'll want to share first how I shifted into AI, if you don't mind, because I believe it was an interesting transition into AI. And I was participating in an event and I presented an idea. Basically, it was about aquaponics. Aquaponics. Have you ever heard about aquaponics? You as an individual?
Yeah, so yes, I did. I'm not an expert, of course. But yeah, I've seen on socials, yeah, aquaponics is uh, cultivating in water.
Yes, yes, yes. Soilless farming, and just it's a closed loop system whereby you are breeding fish and cultivating vegetables in a closed loop system.
Oh, wow, it's
So
more complex than I thought. Okay. Yeah.
it's not that complex, but it's okay. So um, when I presented that as an idea, I actually ended up being a semi-finalist in the event, and it is a Kenya Climate Innovation Center event that was organized to promote businesses in Kenya and new ideas in the agricultural sector, so that you can be, because we are aiming towards sustainable agriculture, basically. And while I was there, I felt like there is actually deploying that technology will be very much expensive and very much difficult, because looking at the target market that I was looking at, the village areas that I was targeting, the expenses and the installation costs of such a system will be very much high. So when I felt like, okay, I came across agriculture in artificial intelligence. Actually, it was computer vision. And I feel like we do suffer a lot in terms of losses because 40% of our crops do suffer losses due to pests and diseases, meaning that we're losing revenues of 77%. That's according to the food FAO. So I felt like then AI could be a solution to this, and I started researching about artificial intelligence application into agriculture. And so far, the industry is still not that ripe in Kenya, but I believe we are going towards making it make a lot of sense within the agricultural sector.
And how is computer vision helping for pest and disease losses?
The computer vision, whatever it's doing is that we can be able to detect the pests and diseases much earlier. Then being paired with the algorithms that are there, because right now we have algorithms that can, an algorithm like SVM that support vector machine. And actually, yesterday I was reading about ESVM, that's an ensemble support vector machine. And these algorithms are great data classifiers. And when paired with computer vision, then we can be able to get the right images when a crop has been damaged. And it can be able to tell which disease actually is affecting the kind of pest and the kind of disease. Just from looking at a plant on its leaf, it can be able to say, you can be able to know and get a recommendation of what the crop is suffering from.
Okay, that's amazing. Yeah, of course, it has so much potential. AI and computer vision has so much potential in agriculture. I'm curious to see what exactly, how do you see farmers using those algorithms? Through a cell phone?
Okay, as of now, that's the main challenge actually, and that's the elephant in the room. Because again, as I told you earlier, like deploying any technology within rural areas, especially in Africa, I'll want to take Kenya as just a use case for the whole continent. Because again, if you want to deploy this technology via the phone, let's say for instance, it's a software application, and that means that a farmer will need to have a smartphone. But now, without the smartphone, that farmer will not be able to enjoy the usefulness of AI if it's using the smartphone camera. So these are the obstacles that we're still facing, and we're still looking at the best methods of how we can be able to deploy to make the farmer enjoy these technologies, especially the AI bit. So as of now, we are still adopting in terms of we're adopting a technology of GSM, whereby they can be able to get recommendation via messages, whereby we are the ones who will be able to deploy the technology on the field, to the field, but for them, they just get a recommendation or an alert, like this is what is ailing their crops.
Okay, yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I'm curious. I think there is so much algorithm that can be deployed for farmers, and yeah, as you said, perhaps it's the elephant in the room. Yeah, but yeah, I'm sure it's coming. M-Pesa is coming from Kenya, right?
Yes.
So you guys are super strong in innovation. I think ChatGPT was also fine-tuned or RLHF in Kenya. So
I believe, first I'll say that it caught me by surprise coming from Kenya, because by then I had invested so much into artificial intelligence and Gen AI. So I actually thought ChatGPT was trained in the Americas until I heard about summer. And I believe what really pushes technology in Kenya is the innovativeness of the individuals and the curiosity of the Kenyan population. Because if you look at the Kenya as a country, the largest population is the youth basically, and these youth are very eager and they're very curious about technology, and they're the ones that are pushing in the adoption of technology within the country. But also not to forget the government itself, because the government has really worked so hard into coming up with policies that are enabling environment, that are creating enabling environment into these technologies. So hearing that ChatGPT was fine-tuned in Kenya, that was really great news. But again, we'll have to appreciate the effort that the government is really making into driving the technology adoption and ensuring that the laws and regulatories and the regulators are really favorable for the ICT industry.
Yeah, it's kudos. I think there were probably other candidates country for that job. So well done to Kenya to secure the job and for making history because ChatGPT was history and this is a revolution unfolding before us. And this revolution is really everywhere in every continent and that's brilliant. So yeah, kudos to Kenya for putting its name on the map of AI.
Yes. I'm proud of being a Kenyan. Yeah, in terms of technology, we are good actually, because
Nice.
again, looking at the internet coverage, we are so good at it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what do you see going forward in the next year? AI has been a big topic in this year, ChatGPT and other generative AI applications. So many that it would take us hours to name them. What do you see coming? Do you think more computer vision would come? Do you see other potential applications that you would probably work on to improve farmers' yields? Yeah, what's your vision on that?
First, if looking at in terms of the artificial intelligence as an industry, leaving just the farming bit, the agricultural sector bit for now, I'll say that I'm seeing a lot of the models, the algorithms becoming smarter and smarter. And because there have been a lot of research papers that are being released. There is one called Weak. I believe it is by Open AI. It is called Weak to Strong, if I can get that name correctly. But what actually is going forward is that the LLMs are becoming, they're looking at ways at which they can be trained to become smarter and smarter, so that even in terms of supervision, they'll not be needing human supervision. So that's the future that we are going and we are heading towards, looking towards 2024. I believe in the AI industry will be looking into how best we can be able to train the models, so the models can be trained without the input of human beings, but they can be able to be self-trained by themselves. So if you read that paper by OpenAI or about superhumans, I believe that's the direction. We are not yet there, but that's the direction that we are heading towards. And again, we are looking into how we can be able to access, to train smarter models with minimal data. Because again, looking now, if we go into the aspect of agriculture, we really need a lot of data to train these algorithms. And now AI researchers are basically looking into ways on how they can be able to train these models with minimal data. And that will mean that the human being that was there to do the annotations and everything will be, their efforts and the inputs will be reduced. Because again, as a human being, there is just an amount that you can work and you can be able to train. But when they're training themselves, then it is much easier and even cost effective. Again, in terms of the AI aspect, I'm looking towards the future being that the cost of accessing these solutions will be much lower,
Okay.
because as of now, AI deployment is very expensive. And even if you're coming up with a solution, again, the target customers, for instance, in agriculture itself, again, you have to ensure that these solutions are very, very, very cheap for the farmer, because looking at a smallholder farmer in Kenya, they have small margins, but they have to sell large volumes of produce for them to be able to make profits. So if you're coming up with a solution, especially an AI solution, let's say, for instance, that crop detection solution via computer vision, then you have to ensure that the costs are really small, or they are affordable in a way that they can be able to enjoy the benefits of the AI itself. So I'm looking in a future whereby AI will be cheaper, AI will be smarter, and farmers will be able to enjoy the yields in terms of agriculture, and they'll be able to enjoy to prevent crop losses. Yeah, and produce more within the field of agriculture.
Beautiful. I feel so much enthusiasm about AI from you that I actually, yeah, I should have asked you first. How was your 2023 like? Yeah, this year has been absolutely crazy. Obviously, you're well into the field. You're reading papers and everything. So yeah, how would you describe your 2023?
I'll say that for me, I'll be sincere that 2023 has been my toughest year. But again, I'm feeling that it's ending well, because this is the year that I had to shut down my startup,
Okay.
and just to lay off individuals. That is the most painful thing as a founder and as an employer. But again, I'll say that it is ending very well, because now I've met you. Actually, it was by a surprise that I had to meet you. I never knew that I'll end the year with some perspective coming from a podcaster. So I believe beginning the year was really tough, but now ending it with a lot of hopes and meeting new people at the end of the year has really been great. And I believe, again, knowing so much and shifting towards AI has been will overshadows all the challenges that 2023 came with.
Okay. Yeah, happy to be part of your 2023 and happy that you are part of my 2023 too.
Yeah.
I thought you would talk about the drama at OpenAI as a talking point of 2023. How did you leave the drama? It feels like Sama is quite popular on your side.
Yes. Okay. That's also one of the things that caught many AI enthusiasts in the field by surprise, because we are. I'm a big fan of Sam Altman, and when I heard that he was shut the door at OpenAI by the board of directors, that was the most a painful bit of the journey itself, because in the AI industry, Sam Altman is seen as the god, for lack of better words, the god of AI, and
I agree with you.
He's the one like spearheading the thing. So I'll say that the drama within the OpenAI ecosystem itself was caught many AI enthusiasts with a lot of surprise. But I'm glad he's back, and he's been able to sort out the leadership issues. And I believe that going forward, they'll be able to produce models that are much smarter. Because right now, I've seen that after he was in, we have already ChatGPT 4.5 Turbo. And I believe also a lot of those confabulations that were coming from ChatGPT are also they're trying to reduce them. And yes, the drama was there, but I'm glad it's ending up when everything has settled down, even though it caught us by surprise.
Same. Yeah, I'm so happy he's back and leading OpenAI and the field of AI. Actually, so I have a newsletter, and it's a preview, but anyway, this podcast episode will be previewed after it's released. But yeah, I think leadership of AI is a question, and I think Kenya or other countries should have a word to say in the leadership of AI. So yeah, what do you think about that? And yeah, the open AI structure is so that yeah, there is a board supervising the company, but eventually, if they really go the super intelligence way or the super alignment way, I think it needs to reflect everybody's opinion. And do you have a wish for more involvement from Kenya and the world in the leadership of AI?
Yes, yes, and I'm glad that you brought that leadership bit because when reading a lot of research papers around artificial intelligence and around the large language models and around the algorithms that are being developed, you'll notice that most of these research papers and the ones that are already published, most of them are coming from the Western countries and just the European countries. And I feel like when I'm reading them, like I'm appreciating everything that they're doing, but I feel like there is a hole whereby the African bit participation has been left behind. Now we've become so much of a consumer than of a contributor. So I love that more Africans and Kenya being one of the countries within the continent can spearhead and push ourselves so much into the industry so that we can be able to come up with a lot of research and participate so much within the research sector of the AI. Because again, without the research, we can't be able to make our voices heard. So I'll say that again, only this research, we can only contribute towards them if our system are well developed and are well funded. So the gap will be there, and that's something that is so scary because again, the leaders already have. Look at it right now. We have OpenAI as the leader. We have the Google. We have Google. We have what is it? We have Microsoft. So all these are the ones that are driving artificial intelligence advancement. But and a lot of the research work is being done and funded by these industry gurus. But you'll find that in most cases, the African fraternity has been left behind, and we've just become like consumers of this research work and whatever products are being shoved to us. But looking forward, I'll want like a lot of participation from us. But again, I can't blame them because we have to show initiative from ourselves. And I just want that we have at least coming in the coming years, we have many African AI researchers participating into the AI leadership and AI research work.
Okay, I wish the same. I think it needs to extend to the world, and yeah, so that AI reflects the world, not just Western world. So yeah,
Yes,
definitely
yes.
with you. And yeah, in the AI 100, there were a few Africans. Yeah, quite a few actually. Zimbabwe, Zambia, Kenya, of course. So yeah, I just hope 2024 we'll have more AI researcher coming from Africa and taking the front stage. So I'm definitely aligned on that.
Yeah, true.
Okay, on those nice words, any advice would you like that you would like to share with our listeners?
An advice that I love to share. So what will it be? I'll say that we are moving towards sustainable agriculture, and I feel and I believe and I hope that AI is the solution towards sustainable agriculture. And because with precision, we'll have better yields. With precision, we'll have better profits for the smallholder farmers. Looking at the United Nations statistics is that we need to, they have a drive towards feeding extra 2 billion people by the year 2050. This is something I've been living in. I bought, and I believe that going forward, each and every one of us should be able to participate towards achieving this goal, because hunger is a real thing that is coming up with the increase in population, and only sustainable agriculture through the integration of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and computer vision, I believe we can be able to attain sustainable agriculture and be able to feed the extra 2 billion people by the year 2050. So yeah, to all the listeners, I believe we should be able to join our hands towards ensuring that by 2050, no one sleeps hungry.
Yeah, great wishes. Wish the same, of course. That was Paul. Okay, I'll redo it. That was Paul Otieno. Thank you so much for joining the podcast today.
Thank you so much for welcoming me to the session.
Look forward to keep in touch.
Thank you. Me too. And enjoy the rest of your time.
Thank you.
Bye.
And that brings us to the end of another enriching episode of Sharing is Caring. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us on this enlightening journey into the world of agriculture AI with our guest, Paul Obota. We hope this episode has inspired you as much as it has us. Remember, the future of agriculture and technology holds incredible promise, and it's up to us to continue pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We're always eager to hear from you, our listeners, about your thoughts on the topics we discuss and the stories we share. So please drop us a line or leave a review. Who knows? Your suggestion might just be the topic of our next episode. Take care, everyone. And remember, every bit of knowledge shared is a step towards a more informed and connected world. See you in the next episode.